Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Cafe Enchante, and we are in Chapter 6. We just kind of started it. Ignis brought us a seal, because, I don't know. So, I don't know if we're going to Beastia or what, but we're dealing, this is the Ignis chapter. So I guess Chapter 4 was the Canis chapter, and I wonder if that's kind of the route order. Wait a minute. Because then it was Rindo, and then it's Ignis, but I want to see... I think the route order recommended was the opposite way. Yeah, it's Canis, Ignis, then Rindo. But still, I mean, we're kind of almost going in their chapters that way, so... I just wanted to look, because I was like, But this seems like Ignis's kind of chapter, so fun. I kind of like that there is a chapter sort of dedicated to kind of each one of them in the main route, which makes sense why the main route is so freaking long, if you think about it. But anyway, here we are. Okay, I'll head out then. I'll be back, whether I even find them or not. Okay, Miser puts back on his robe and speaks as if he were just going out for some fun. When did he take off his robe? He's always wearing that. And in contrast... How'd this end up happening? Miser, ill, and Canis, in contrast to his longtime fellow non-human acquaintances, Ignis was despondent. The Lost Sea Demon's parent search corps was suddenly founded by Miser. In other words, Miser and the others would enter Beastia to find the demon beast's parents. It's just, considering what I just heard, that rampaging demon beast from earlier... The demon world Beastia is filled with dangerous creatures just like that. It's so dangerous that even those GPM agents who go there to conduct their search, It's so dangerous that even those GPM agents who go there to conduct their research, or you, if you let down your guard... Oh, okay, that makes more sense. You could easily die. It's just the way they phrased that sound. It was like ... Or you could easily... Wait, what? Told this several times by Mr. Rindo and Ignis, it was decided I would stay here, along with Mr. Rindo and Karya. Well, you know, Ignis, Miser, and the others really might find its parents. All I can think about is how they'll cause more trouble before that. Well, there's no point fussing over it at this point. Guess I should make up my mind, too. I'll head out while I can still handle the blizzard. Okay, well, I can still handle the blizzard. Alright, come on, Spacey. Hand over the little guy. Oh, okay. Good luck, then. I hope you find your parents, Kododo. Kododo? We're calling him Kododo. Yukiu! Kododo? So hard to say. It's this little guy's name. I thought it might be tricky without one, so I gave him one just for now. But you named him Kododo? Because you had to make it the most impossible fucking thing to say? Oh, and I named him that because... he's like a ball and rolls everywhere? Wow, Karya... How did you know? I mean, that's exactly what he is. There's no way no one could figure that out. Seriously? You're a terrible demon beast pet namer. Ugh. Wish you two would stop being on good terms exclusively at times like these. Suffering some damage internally, I hand off Kododo to Ignis. Kododo? A Baku's child taken in by Ignis. Its name comes from its round body. The heroine gave it its name. However... What? Tiny paws grabbed desperately onto my arm and didn't seem to intend on letting go. He looks angry.
Angry little snowball.
Hey, cut that out! Stop throwing a fit! Ignis tries pulling Kododo's body lightly, but he doesn't budge in the slightest. After trying the same a few times, I could practically hear one of Ignis's veins on his forehead pop. Let go! You little... Who do you think this trip is helping?
Yeah!
Ow! Wait! Kododo, your claws are digging into me! Ignis, you're pulling too hard! Kododo's body will tear apart. Kododo's body... I can't say Kododo. It's too hard. Although, it almost felt like Kododo's grip was stronger than Ignis's monster strength.
Could it be that he doesn't want to leave Spacey?
Guess I'll just have to go to the scary demon world. I mean, the beast world. Now that you mention it, he seems to have been waiting to be pampered by Spacey since coming here. He warmed up to her quickly. Well, that's sweet, but problematic, isn't it? Looking at how stubborn he was, Kororo didn't look like he wanted to let go of me one bit. Okay then, Kororo, do you want to stay here at Enchante too? No way! Sea demons are usually super bashful. This thing's got a screw loose. Even if I were to find its pack, just one look at me would make them all run away. I see. Even all of you would have a hard time chasing them underwater. I know I already asked, but can I... No. No way. We're not taking you no matter what. They must have known what I was about to ask. Both Mr. Rindo and Ignis beat me to it. We already told you like infinity times. That world is way too dangerous for little weaklings like you. Right. I mean, that hurts when you say it like that, but you're not wrong. However, the so-called last boss group, named by Mr. Rindo, thought the danger to be quite insignificant. I'm not particularly against it. With us around, I'm sure we'd be able to keep Spacey safe. Really? Like what happened in the fairy world? I got thrown off a fucking cliff. I'm just saying, do we really want to go? I don't think we should. Miser didn't have a care in the world. Flustered by his attitude, I imagined Mr. Rindo would call him out for it. Then... Miser, aren't you treating this too lightly? This isn't like Medio. Just standing around in Beastia is an immediate threat to your life. And what if there's another issue with the gate like there was last time? If anything happens to her, we'd be totally helpless. I mean, is he acting nonchalant because he's shady? All I'm saying, look, I don't trust games anymore. I'll say it as many times as I need to. Humans are easy to kill. He spoke in a deeper voice than usual, so much that I couldn't recognize it. I can't get that much deeper. Mr. Rindo felt as if he was much scarier than usual somehow. Mr. Rindo? As I called out to him in hesitation, Mr. Rindo clasped his mouth, his eyes wide open. Sorry, got a little too grim there. But it really is that dangerous of a world. I'm completely against this. Mr. Rindo, who was usually so relaxed, was being very serious about the matter. I'm continually reminded, with jokes aside, this world they're going to skirts death around every corner. Honestly, I'm not sure what to do either. I want to help Kororo, but knowing I'll be in the way if I go along, I can't really say that I want to go. As I stood there, indecisive, the one who pushed me to make a decision was... But, you know, if we give up now, the little guy will be all alone, won't he? Cue? It was Karya's saddened voice. Honestly, I thought it was annoying how he started following me around all of a sudden. I'm being separated from his family. I'm being taken to some world he doesn't know. It just kind of feels like how I might have ended up if you all didn't find me. I just feel bad if he ended up the same way. Karya... Ignis and Mr. Rindo's eyes wavered at each of his words as he made his way through them. I trust in everyone. I look right at Ignis. Ignis, it's an undeniable fact that I'm weak. But I'm still the owner of Enchante. Huh? So what? Is that supposed to change my... No, it isn't. I know better than anyone that my regulars are the strongest people there are. That's why I fully believe that I'll be able to come home safe, no matter what, if I went with all of you by my side. Although I know all I'm doing is depending on the strength of other people. Damn it! You really aren't fair, you know? I could have turned you down no problem if you're just talking crap. Come on now, Ignis. She just said she believes in us. We, of course, cannot let her guard down. We must plan for the unexpected as well. Should we not trust ourselves to do that? The one who gave the final push after my argument was Canis. And besides, so long as she is a part of Enchante, she cannot avoid interaction with other worlds. And that demon beast from earlier, as well as the danger of non-humans entering this world by chance. She knows the reality of such dangerous worlds, and of non-humans as well. To say she should only be concerned with what is orderly may be close-minded. Finally, he takes a heavy step toward Mr. Rindo. And of course, I will be prepared to protect her with all my might. Aw, or literally our knight. In glowing purple armor.
Yes, although this would only be in the most dire of circumstances, I vow to protect her, even if it means obliterating Beastia. And of course, being the demon lord I am, I won't spare any of my strength either.
Canis, you're too close. I get it, but take a step back, will ya? Well, if you all go, I suppose the biggest dangers would just seem like mere nuisances. Beastia would actually be the one in danger. So then... I'm saying this with total reluctance, but I'll allow it. I mean, I don't really think that you're my dad, so... However, I'm going too, and if I ever deem it to be too dangerous, we head back immediately. Thank you. You're the one that's gonna get killed. Do you know what just happened like a week ago? You got impaled by this kid. I don't think you should go. I should be triggering him. Hey, good for you. And Korodo. Q. As I bowed in thanks, Mr. Rindo gives me a small smile, waving off my gesture. He was helpless as he looked at Miser. All these non-humans are going to another world just for one small demon beast, huh? Makes me wonder sometimes how much my life might have changed if I'd only known you all a bit sooner. Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to time travel. Too bad, huh? And during all of that, Ignis remained the only one standing there, silently, yet to give his approval. Pocket of my hoodie's fallen off. They originally would have left immediately, but with the humans, myself and Mr. Rindo coming along, it was a different story. It was decided that we should postpone our departure to get a good night's sleep, to rest our bodies and leave the following day. I know that I need to, but I just can't get to sleep. It was because I was nervous. Even though I made my decision, it was still a dangerous world out there. Like, how is Korodo, surviving? Like, he lives in the sea, and he's a fucking seal, and he lives in the cold ocean, and now he's in a warm cafe. Not in the ocean. Knowing that got my nerves worked up. Unable to lie still, I got up from my bed. Still not wanting to separate from me, Korodo was fast asleep, snoring adorably next to me. I'm just realizing how different he is. He's nothing like that rampaging bull from earlier, or Ignis for that matter. Yet, the innocent face he had as he slept next to me helped me relax. I'll head out just for a bit, then I'll come back to sleep. I got up quietly from the bed so as not to disturb Korodo. This is what you should have done. Okay, now stuff him in a bag and hand him to the others. Wait for him to fall asleep. I changed out of my nightwear, but I still felt awkward about wandering around at this time of night. So, here I am in the back garden of Enchante, still on the cafe's grounds. The flowers that decorated Enchante and the gardening here was done by Canis, a hobby of his. The night wind blowing through the beautiful flowers grown by his hand mixed with their aroma, helping me calm down. Petals from the blooming flowers floated about, dancing in the breeze. Pick one, whichever one you like. Do you want the blooming flowers fluttering about, or the petals of the blooming flowers floating about? Pick one. You have a choice. Huh. Beyond them, I saw someone I hadn't been expecting. The one standing there quietly, lit by the moonlight from the sky it's probably Ignis, because it's his chapter. Ignis? No, it's you. Aren't you supposed to be sleeping? I've been nervous, so I couldn't. What about you? It's unusual of you to be in the garden. Although it was by coincidence, seeing a familiar face as I was here unable to sleep made me feel a bit at ease. As I got closer to Ignis, gazing into the night sky, he muttered, So you're really going to Beastia? Yeah. It really is dangerous. More than what Rindo and I made it out to be. It's a world where you die in seconds if you were thrown into it alone. He was saying this as if asking me to think it over again. I could tell it was Ignis's way of worrying about me. Still, I'm sorry, but I'm still going. It's for Korodo as well, but I do feel that it's because I want to see your homeworld too, Ignis. Huh. You wouldn't be doing yourself any favors going to see a place like that. Besides, after you know all about Beastia and Demon Beast, then You'll what? Forget it. Just talking to myself. Never mind. After talking it out, I seem to have finally convinced Ignis. Or maybe more accurately, he gave up.
Anyway, if you're going to Beastia, you need to be as prepared as possible. Sort of nice, pretty stuff you might be imagining. It's not a thing like that there.
Okay.
And if you really have to go, I'll be there to protect you. The others wouldn't shut up about it either.
Right. I'll be counting on you. Once we find Kororo's family and friends and get back here, I'll make mountains of your favorite things on the menu.
Hey, do you think you could just get me to do anything by dangling food in front of me?
No, that's not what I meant.
He looked pretty happy about it, though. To be honest, that actually might not be a bad reward.
His smile was weak at the end of what he had to say, but Ignis did smile. A life-threatening journey to another world. Considering what would happen tomorrow, by talking about it with Ignis under the soft light of the moon, the nervousness and unease of leaving wore off.
The morning after.
For 2 days straight, Enchante would be closed for business. None of my regulars, or myself even, would be there. Everyone was gathered in front of the gate, ready to head into Beastia.
It's so warm outside right now, and we're heading to a frozen tundra. It'll be a big change in temperature.
I know it may be a bit late for this. What does it mean to feel cold? I, of course, have a grasp of the concept.
Indeed, we haven't ever felt that the cold itself was a threat. Everyone was talking about the cold, yet they didn't have on clothes specifically made to protect against the cold. That went for me and Mr. Rindo, too. Hi, we're going to a cold place. Why did we not prepare? Ignis told us we didn't need any layers and to just come in normal clothes. But listening to Miser talking, I began to regret not even bringing earmuffs.
Hey, the humans should keep these over them.
From the front, Ignis suddenly and carelessly tosses something to Mr. Rindo and I.
Fur.
This is a blanket?
Nothing that fancy. It's the skin of a demon beast I used to make some cloth out of.
Wait, did you just say its skin you ripped off? It was strange to put this over me, imagining what its former owner might think of it. But, that's no different than wearing leather or fur. Except for, he ripped it off. This sounds more terrifying, but in contrast to me, Mr. Rindo wrapped the first skin around his waist with no hesitation.
Don't think about it and just take it. A normal human who's not prepared will freeze to death right when they step in.
Got it. But why did you tie yours to your waist? Don't you think it'd be better to cover more of yourself up?
That's the strange power of demon beasts, and just putting it on your body in any way has an effect. Try it yourself.
Following his instructions, I nervously put it on, and then... Wow, it's so warm! I feel heat from my head to my toes!
A nice item to have for wintry conditions. You don't need a heater with one of these.
Man, that sounds like a nice idea. It's this tiny little thing. Just put it on like a scarf. Be so much better than like, okay, I gotta have my blanket on, but then if I move and then my back is cold and my feet are cold and I gotta do that, like... I moved and well cold. Or God, would you... Y'all just hit me. Before I put flannel sheets on my bed for the winter. Like... I had regular sheets on because it was going to be nice, and then it got cold. And then you get in bed and you're like, okay, and then you move your leg and you're like, oh my God, it's like sleeping on icicles! Because there's no heat for that inch over from where your leg was. Goddamn trauma. Engaged in our small talk, I lined up behind Ignis while carrying Kororo. But before entering the gates, Kororo?
Pew!
Huh? You want me to pet you?
Kororo's tiny hand stretches toward Karia, who was seeing us off. After Kororo arrived at the cafe, he took a big liking to Karia. Maybe it was because Karia was an ice fairy and Kororo found comfort in him, considering Kororo knew the intense cold of the deep sea. That was what Ignis and Canis suspected. At first, Karia seemed like he was bothered by Kororo's sudden appearance, but...
Later, Kororo. I hope you won't have to come back here again for your own sake. Go find your parents and get back to them.
Cute! His kind touch as he pet Kororo showed how he truly felt, wow.
You be careful too. If you die, it'll be a problem for me.
Yeah, I'll be careful. Take care of things while I'm gone, Karia. As we were seen off by a somewhat worried-looking Karia,
Let's go. Don't worry, we're not going to die. There's no bad endings. There are bad endings in each of the routes, and there's only one bad ending in the common route, and that is if you don't flip the sign to open. I told you right from the bat. I was like, I have a feeling that would be a bad thing when it's like, leave it closed, open it. All the rest of these choices kind of just point you to different paths. We're not going to die in this world. We'll be fine. Right. We might have a near-death experience, so Ignis has to save us, is all I'm saying, but... Grabbing onto a part of Ignis's clothes, we opened through the gate that was thrown wide open. Yeah, hold on to his hand. The boundary between worlds. Right when we passed through them, I was assaulted by the feeling of being cut. There was wind, freezing cold, as if to deny entry to outsiders, telling us to leave, as if they're to deny... Okay, it didn't. Okay. I managed to open my eyes that I had closed on reflex. Hey, we made it here without getting lost. Before me was a world of snow and ice stretching out to the horizon. It's basically New England in the winter. Beast World, Beastia. I do like that we get to go to these other worlds. It's kind of fun. This is the Demon World Beastia? In contrast to Medio, not a single ray of blissful sunshine touched the ground. The rocks and cliffs and what looked like trees at first glance were all transparent blue after looking more carefully. They were all made of hardened ice. It was as if we were in the Antarctic. No, a world of even more ice than that. And within all of it was the bizarre sight of the gate, standing there with no sign of frost anywhere on it. And then, I could only say one thing. It's cold! My lungs shiver just by breathing in air. She's like, and bye, little guy, tosses Cordodo and runs back in. It was hard to believe that this demon beast fur coat was reducing the cold so much. Although most of the others weren't affected the way I was, that wasn't to say I was the only one feeling the cold. Ugh. Man, doesn't this place ever warm up? Humans are more sensitive to the cold when they're old. You're showing your age. Shut up, I am! I don't even have the strength to argue. Ugh. Times like these, I gotta say I'm jealous of the tough bodies you all have. It is much colder than Medio's winters. It is not something we can really get used to, but we should not have any issues so long as we keep moving our bodies. Canis? Your armor is making a grinding sound. Is there snow stuck in its joints? Oh, no. My apologies, Spacey, but please help me dig it out. So funny. Right! I work hard, digging out the snow that was limiting Canis's movements with my fingers. And after I just thought that was over with, next to Canis, who began stretching himself as if determined not to have the same thing happen, sat Il, who had frozen into a statue. I see. Just now, my body has begun to feel pain. So this is what cold is? Il? Are you okay? I'm... Oh, right. As Canis says, we'll get used to it soon. You don't really look alright. Even your wingtips are shivering. And opposite of the Enchante faithful... I guess it really is from Beastia. Cordono was in great spirits after coming back here to his home. Cordono, you're bald everywhere. I hope you aren't cold. Exasperated, Ignis turned to the rest of us, crying at the coldness as soon as we arrived. Hey, we just sit around. Demon beasts are gonna find us out here in no time. That's right. I'm concerned about Spacey, so let's avoid on any unnecessary downtime. Il, I'm gonna put up some awareness protection around us. Can you help me? Yes. Miser snaps his fingers and Il, still shaking, puts his hands together. A deep purple aura surrounds us. Awareness protection? Is this the same sort of thing you cast over Enchante? It's similar. It's risky to cast this on us individually, so I made it bigger. It's easier to handle. Clever individuals would figure out what's happening, but mindless beasts would ignore us, even if we were right in front of them. Good. That'll do just fine.
All right, let us head to our destination. The wind is strong here, too. And it seems Ill's at his limit. If we stay here, his wings will freeze over. With a shiver from his body, a large clump of snow drops from his wings to the ground.
Ignis, those flames from your body, can you make them stronger? Right now, I feel like I could give you the biggest hug.
You're trying to sweet-talk me or what? Flirting with me? After that, Il began getting used to the cold. I'm sure walking close to Ignis was helping that. After his condition had got more stable, we began walking across a vast plain of snow, surrounded by the others. We were headed toward the shore where Ignis found Kororo. Sea demons like Kororo lived mainly under the water, but would occasionally come up onto land. Ignis, of course, searched the area before... But we're heading back as a team, hoping one of us might find a hint of some kind. Yeah, like tracks in the snow. Never mind. They're all gone now, 5 minutes after you left. We had been walking for a while, but there wasn't really any change to the scenery. Strangely, and probably because of the demon beast's fur coat, I'd gotten used to the cold air that was still piercing my body. I was relaxed enough by now to really be able to pay attention to my surroundings. And then, I noticed a shadow, far in the distance. Huh? Is that demon beast over there the same as the one going crazy at the aquarium? That's the lesser version of a minotaur. A minotaur? Yeah, they're annoying. They look like bulls and they'd normally be able to talk, but when certain ones mix and they lack certain genes, they're born without intelligence. Oh, I see. So there are variations within the species. Does Ignis' species have other beasts that look different from him? Also, most demon beasts are very aggressive. Do everything to stay away from them. If you lock eyes with one, you're done. Understood. I'll take that to heart. Canis joins in, mumbling. I just remembered after seeing this one. But how did the Minotaur from yesterday appear in the human world? Oh, that's right. I'd completely forgotten about that incident after the matter of Kororo. Considering all of the possibilities, the only one that makes sense is a wormhole. I've requested intel on it for now. Mr. Rindo has registered the specimen as a new entry. It's not ever been recorded anywhere else. Wormholes pop open all over the place in Beastia, so it's not that far-fetched an idea. And this time it just happened to connect to the human world.
However, it must have been a big hole for that body to have been able to fit through it.
Yeah, speaking of those, we also have to make sure that we don't fall into one by accident. Another thing we didn't think of. An undisturbed demon beast is a calm one. We quickly passed through the area while the Minotaur didn't realize we were there. Although it was a dangerous world, with these particular members that could cheat their way through anything, I encountered no harm. And while continuing on, taking the long way around any demon beasts we came across, a gentle scent caught my attention. This is salt water? After passing through the shadow of a large mountain of ice, was a giant plain of ice that was broken up, and beyond that lay a vast, deep blue ocean with icebergs floating across it. Could this be... Is this where you met Kororo, Ignis? Yeah, he was here all alone, crying for his parents. No sign of any struggle in the area. It's unlikely that anything happened here that caused them to get separated. Right, Kororo does not seem to be afraid either.
So, after he got lost, he arrived here, and then Ignis came and took him in. And this is the likely turn of events?
This could prove to be difficult. Miser taps his toes on the frozen ice. And there's no solid ground here. Everything beneath here is an ocean. Their territory. That's exactly the problem. Essentially all of Beastia is their habitat. Cute! Looking at Kororo tilt his head, I summarize all the information given to me so far. Sea demons spend a lot of their time swimming in the ocean here. They're small, but they're very vigilant. If that's the case, we will miss them even if they are near. Even if we miraculously find them, they will swim away further into the ocean. Because of all that, they're great at surviving considering how weak they are.
It'll be a pain to try and find him, though.
You see, I can understand why Ignis had to give up and bring Kororo to Enchante. Miser began gathering her feedback, one by one, showing some pause. However, that only lasted for a moment.
Well, then... Oh, well, there aren't enough of us to send out in groups, really. How about we let a few cheats take care of things?
The one he turned to was the one who looked completely opposite to himself.
Ill, you about ready?
Yes, I am. My body is warmed up now.
As he batted his wings to shake off some snow gathered on them, it came to me. Are you going to try and locate the pack from the sky?
We'll try that as well, but that's not our main intent. I'll use a particular type of my magic.
Magic? Come to think of it, I remember Ill using his power to heal Mr. Rindo during the Karya incident.
Basically he slapped some band-aids on him. Basically, what he said.
I'd explain it to you in detail, but that might take a little while. The power that Ill and I use, and those that Ignis and Canis use, they're all different from one another.
Oh, I see. From my perspective, it all just feels like the same sort of magic.
Magic? Its base is a fundamental element in other worlds. Its basis is a fundamental element in other worlds, yet to be understood by science. Some non-humans use that fundamental element to cause all sorts of supernatural phenomenon. Ill's brand is a kind of angelic law that's a combination of logic and math, executed by praying to the heavens. It's very graceful. Conversely, Miser's brand has no definition. Permeates all, and is a type where one's wisdom and abilities become techniques.
The two nod at each other as the other explains the power they employ. It was a bit difficult to understand.
Well, to make it simple, what Ill uses are techniques made from minute calculations.
Lawful magic! A general term for special powers used only by angels and fallen angels. By combining extremely precise theories with calculations, then offering it in a prayer to heaven, various miracles can be induced.
He's basically using science magic.
And what Miser uses is some kind of power that's really strong.
Demon magic, power used by Miser. A technique that intervenes on all things based on magic power. Compared to lawful magic, the magic varies depending on the individual. Some non-demons have the natural talent to use such magic. I see. The explanation seemed oversimplified, but it was direct and understandable for someone like me.
Well, this power is defined differently between worlds, and have many names. It's a lot to absorb in one day. I think it's probably sufficient to know that they're just different powers. What I'll be using this time is a seeking magic that utilizes sound.
Seeking?
And though it depends on the situation, in this case it'd be something similar to fishing.
What do you mean?
We saw it on TV the other day. The special and fishermen, remember? They used equipment to detect fish.
And they send sound waves to the ocean floor, then look at the returning wave to see if any fish are there. And that's what he's doing?
Exactly. Ill's pretty skilled. He's an all-purpose tool. He can do anything if he knows the right steps.
Oh, wow.
That's right. He did the same kind of thing when we were looking for Karya, too.
Right. The circumstances were different that time, so this won't be as difficult. All right, shall I begin? Miser, I request your assistance.
Miser nods and Ill gracefully ascends up into the wintry sky of Beastia. Flying at an incredible speed, he was far from us in no time. With that, Miser made a gesture as if he were knocking on air. And then... Whoa! In front of him appeared a magic circle with several detailed emblems on it. That's what it looked like, at least.
Testing. This is Miser.
Ill, can you hear me?
It's a little difficult to hear, but conversing will be possible. Really, though, everything you make is always so haphazard, so messy. I just know it's difficult to adjust to you.
Don't make it a thing. Our magic is different. We should be happy we can connect them together at all.
I could hear Ill's sigh from the magic circle. You talked to Ill through this magic circle?
Right. Well, I'm leaving all the adjustments to Ill, so I'm not sure about the details concerning how or why it works.
I've thought about this before, but don't you think your own understanding of your powers is a little too... small?
I could not agree more.
Oh, it's fine. What matters isn't that the powers are mysterious, but that they have utility. Besides, if you think about sound quality, cell phones of the human world are much more magical and mysterious than this. You're like, cell phones use... Okay, never mind. Like, well, I guess that's true, seeing as though anyone can use them. Alright, Il. Can you see anything from there?
No, nothing at all. The color of the sea is so dense I can't see anything inside it. So I think we'll need to use my magic. I'll deploy it in a wide range around me.
Gotcha. Anything I can do?
You can let me handle it. However, it seems I'm not very compatible with Beastia. I may fall short of our expectations, but I'll certainly give it a try.
Alright then. Miss Spacey, look carefully. I think you'll be able to get a glimpse of Il being pretty angelic here. Okay. I take Miser's suggestion and fix my eyes on the sky I think is near Il. And then... a part of the sky, there's something shining, right? That's where Il is? Although I couldn't tell exactly what he was doing because he was so far away, I could tell seeing the shining light. With a strange noise in the way, I couldn't hear all that well. But it was Il's beautiful voice, singing. It echoed across the land as if the dangerous ambiance of Beastia was being painted over. In the next instant, a sphere of light that enclosed him began to expand outward. It happened in just the blink of an eye, but I could feel it brush against my cheek like a brush of wind with a sweet warmth. And not a second later, the light gathered back toward him. Afterward, I heard Il sigh.
I couldn't find anything. There was no feedback from the sea. I covered a radius of about 10 kilometers, but I suspect they're no longer nearby.
I see. Thanks, Il. Well, I guess it couldn't have been easy. You can come back to us for now.
Understood. I'll return immediately.
As Miser released the magic circle, I could see a light figure heading towards us from afar. I didn't know what to say. Wow, I didn't know angels get so mystical looking when they use their magic. It's been a while for us to see Il actually looking like a real angel. Once he gets back, he'll be the same old, super relaxed Il. You'll be pulled back to reality instantly. An hour later, we changed our locations many times. We kept at our strategy using Il's abilities and penchant for detection. Detection! One of the spells that Il often uses, sending waves of sound and spirit energy into the surroundings to search for a response from a target. The more detailed the information he has about the target, the more accurate. But we were unable to find the sea demons. Oh, we have to keep Kororo or just abandon him here. That's really sad. After that, we continued our search using all sorts of different methods. But in the end, we couldn't find a single hit. Not to mention any pack of sea demons. You'd think there'd be a lot of them. I really didn't think it'd be so easy that we'd find them in a single day. But man, I feel like there's no end to this. It was unfortunate for poor Kororo, but it was a reality we could do nothing about. As if reacting to everyone's dismay, Kororo jumped out from my arms. And while crawling all the way to the edge of the ice floor, Pew! Pew! He must be calling to its parents. His cry was sad. Oh. It spread across the open ocean. Pew! There was no response. By coming back here, he must have remembered how sad he was. I even thought I saw a tear drop down from Kororo's big round eyes. Kororo. Unable to know how to console him, all I could do was say his name. Please. It doesn't even have to be his parents. Just let something call back to Kororo. Typos. And in response to my wish... Yeah! Someone save me! A pitiful scream tore through the sky to answer me. Wait, that most certainly did not sound like someone Kororo might know. What is that? A puzzled Canis looks across the horizon, vision hampered by the snow, to find...
I'm sorry! Forgive me! I didn't mean to enter your territory! I didn't mean it! It was nature's fault! And wow, how is this giant body of yours so quick and agile?
It was a young boy, probably a little older than Karya. He was being chased by more of the lesser minotaurs, running away from them as fast as he could, right toward us.
Ah! This is it! I'm dead! They're catching up to me! Please save me, Ignis, my bro!
Shut up! Stop screaming, I can hear you! Get your head down!
Flames flew through the air. In a flash, flames engulfed the minotaurs. Before I could even understand what had happened.
Here we are once again. You're all so annoying. Really wish you'd stop mooing at everyone weaker than you.
Ignis flew over them and with just a single kick, wrapped them in flames. The minotaur's body sunk and fell right where it stood.
It really did come out of nowhere. Even the bugs of the human world are less active in their winter.
The young boy, covering his head and crouching, looked up at Ignis and began to shake. Wait, didn't this person clearly shout out Ignis's name just earlier?
Bro! I'm so glad you're here!
Ah, God, gross! Your face is covered in snot. Stay away from me, you dumbass.
But, I was just so scared! Some people said they saw you, so I followed you all the way here. I kept trying to find you, but I couldn't. After all that, I accidentally walked into Minotaur territory and almost got killed. But I feel safe now that I met up with you. As long as my bro Ignis is here, no matter what demon beasts come our way.
Your bro? My confusion unintentionally slipped out of my mouth. And my eyes met this boy with the wet face.
Hey, you got a lot of nerve looking at me like that, eh?
What?
I don't know what kind of demon beast you are, but if you attack me, just know it'll be the last thing you ever do. My bro here, Ignis, he's the strongest demon beast in Beastia, and he's not gonna just sit around and let me get jumped here. Look at that. These idiots are so scared of you that they're completely speechless, bro. And knock them all out. I'll back you up from back here, bro.
Maybe it's rude to feel this way. I just met this person. Yet there's some kind of pathetic aura around him. He's like a sad little animal.
Oh, well then if you aren't demon beast, you should have just said so. Sorry about that. Hey, so, do you mind if I tear off one of his limbs? His right arm, perhaps. This kid is just pissing me off already. I know exactly how you feel, but don't. He might be weird, but he's an old friend.
An old friend?
Yes, glad you asked.
It is I, one of the strongest, best, absolute greatest of all time, invincible Beast, the Fire Wolf. I'm Ignis's right-hand man.
Minotaur? A race of demon beasts inhabiting Beastia. The race name of Ignis, werewolves that control flame. Dromi?
They call me Dromi. I'm a rare type of werecat. Nice to meet all of you.
Dromi 1, a young tigress, demon beast from Beastia, and self-proclaimed little brother of Ignis. He's very loud and clownish. Tigress. Or tigress. Tigress? Yeah. Well, tigress. Yeah, it makes sense. A race of demon beasts inhabiting Beastia. It's said that their numbers are incredibly low, probably because they're all pains in the fucking asses, and nobody wants to breed with them, all I'm saying. If they're all like him, everyone's like, and checking the fuck out of that shit. He seems mostly focused on praising Ignis.
My first impression is that he's excitable.
He's like a cat who's trying to be a lion. Though I think I'd prefer a cat right now. I bet no one sees him as Ignis's right hand. Our impressions were bad, but consistent. As if to confirm what we thought was correct, Ignis already looked completely exhausted. You wouldn't see him like this at Enchante. However, this boy named Dromi seemed to be a reliable source of information, and figured out what Kororo was when Ignis found him. Okay then, Dromi was it? I'd like to ask again. You don't have any clues as to where a pack of sea demons like this one might be? This one might be. Cute? Cute! Wasn't loud enough.
Nah, sorry to say, but I don't really know anything about that. Of course, this day that I actually need you, you're useless. And you claim to be the best source of information in Beastia. Wait, what are you talking about? I'm always helping you out, bro.
Seemed like he just now remembered something.
Oh, but hey, sea demons are pretty uncommon. And they aren't really, like, the best fighters out there, right? And then maybe other weaker species like them might have some more info, yeah?
Weaker species?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you'd notice them when you see them. Not all the demon beasts of Beastia are strong or violent. Younger demon beasts chased out here to the fringes by more ferocious species like minotaurs live here now. Maybe those weaker ones have banded together, you know? Like cooperating with each other, I guess? I was just walking through an area some of them live in now, bro. Want me to see what's up and get some help?
That would be helpful. Honestly, we have so little information that we are at a loss as to where to start. And if possible, it'd be very nice to find someplace that has a roof. I'm sure you'd like to rest too, Il.
I'm not particularly exhausted. I know I've used my magic a bit, but...
You know, man, you say that, but you're starting to look a little pale. You look like you're out of juice.
I suppose I can't deny that.
So that being the case, Dromi, can you show us the way?
No problem. Leave it to me.
He's irritating. Following Dromi as he led the way, we came to a completely different place from before. In contrast to the wild terrain of the ice fields, this place was obviously maintained. There were structures randomly strewn about made from ice and snow, igloos. Perhaps this is considered someone's territory in Beastia. It may be something like a village? Territory, a word used for village in Beastia. Each race has their own. Dromi, who had gone in to explain our situation, came running back toward us.
I got through to the chief. Looks like all you will be allowed to freely move about their territory.
In this place he led us to were smaller, human-like demon beasts that seemed to have the ears of rabbits. Aww. They're bunny beasts. According to Ignis, they were still demon beasts, but apparently none of them can fight. Well, that was easy. Aren't demon beasts always on their guard or trying to kill other species?
Well, normally, yeah, but, well, you know, thanks to my skills as a smooth talker.
Oh, I see. They felt pity for you, the weaker species.
No! What's with the attitude, my guy? How are you gonna diss your new friend?
Dromi was crying in a fuss as we were all gathered around him. I love the fact that Rindo just ripped this poor kid a new one. He's just like, oh, I felt bad for you because you're weaker than the bunnies. Okay. Rindo, you're so fucking savage. I felt several shadows and stares trying to observe us while remaining hidden. I guess visitors from other worlds really do stand out in a bad way.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna need to do this on my own.
Huh? Ignis? Wondering what those footsteps were, I turned around to see Ignis walking away from our circle without even waiting for a response. He continued on, disappearing into the deeper part of the territory. Is he going to ask for information alone? As I was watching him leave, it seemed like everyone decided what they'd do. It was a simple plan. Everyone would split up and gather witness information of the beasts here. However... Kororo? He doesn't look too good. He might have tired himself out after crying so much earlier. Carrying him around might be too much on him.
Oh, hey, can I keep the little guy for you here? Oh, I can keep the little guy for you here if you want.
Huh? But I couldn't ask somebody I just met to do something like that.
Hey, don't worry about it. If you came here with my bro, you're practically family to me.
I guess. I'll take you up on your offer then. Can you just look after him for just a bit?
Eats him. Leave it to me. I help you find some good info. Wow, you're a cute one, aren't you? Ah!
Oh, it was Kuro.
Ah! Ow! He bit me right away. His teeth are vicious. They're carving me alive. Stop! You rub my fingers off. You play nice with my bro and his friends. Why are you mean to me?
Because you're a pain in the fucking ass. Alright then. Should we get going? We'll have to bring a reward for Kororo when we get back too. You seem to be in high spirits, Miser. You must have been pretty pissed at Dromi over there, huh? I'm sorry, Dromi. Please do your best caring for Kororo. No, it's Kokoro. Alright, let's get to it then. Kokoro. Kokoro is easier to say than Kororo. Kokoro. Way easier. I'm sure I could accompany anyone, so what should I do? I'm worried about you. I'll go with Candace's group to get information. That's what we're supposed to do, because we're trying to go down Candace's route, so. Saying he would take care of Il in his weak state, Miser headed toward the chief's place. The rest of us began our investigation right away, but... One moment, boy. We have something to ask you. Ah! Even though Dromi has spoken to everyone in our situation, it seems they're considerably wary of any outside guests. And next time I will crouch down and establish eye contact before attempting to speak. Spacey, do you want to tell him or should I? I couldn't. I'll leave it to you, Mr. Rindo. You've known him forever, and you're my senior. Two of us humans continued to push this imperative task onto each other. To the small demon beasts here, Candace's imposing frame must have been that much scarier to them. For now, before he claims any more victims, I decided to look for other demon beasts to talk to. This territory is right by a pretty massive shoreline, sure, but... Well, I've never seen any sea demons. No one would ever think to leave here, knowing their lives would be in danger. Even if they did, they'd never find them. Huh? Your lives? I answered your question! We're done, right? I'm leaving now! Huh? Thank you very much! I tried to express my gratitude, but I wasn't sure he heard me. To think they'd be afraid of the ever-harmless Spacey, huh? Their species is easily spooked. As something happened to them in the past for them to be that afraid. Whatever could have happened? Ignis's people eating them? I mean... We tried to talk to other demon beasts who seemed like they might be willing, but we didn't get a single bit of information about any packs of sea demons. But instead there was something we noticed. The gazes of sincere interest. Their eyes, not only curious, but afraid. To be precise, it wasn't because of us, the ones they'd never seen before. Look, they're the guys with Ignis. Let's go! No telling what kind of fight we'll get dragged into if we talk to them. We'll definitely get killed. It was Ignis, it seems. Oh man, it's really hard to do this with all these looks they give us. This is new for me. Life. It's such a trivial thing here in Beastia. I know because of how often I've been told. But thinking more about it, why exactly was Beastia dangerous? I realized I never heard an exact reason for why it was that way. Why is it dangerous? Because Ignis exists? I thought it was because of dangerous demon beasts in the severe environment, but... You're kidding me! A loud shout cut off my thoughts. The direction that came from was... deeper into the territory. That direction was... It was the way Ignis went? I'm going to take a look. Everyone, please keep asking around. After getting everyone's approval, I ran off. In the deeper end of the territory, in the shadows of a snow cave was Ignis and a demon beast girl I didn't recognize. Unaware of my presence, the girl was shouting at Ignis, who was far taller than her.
Why? Why are you showing up in front of me now after all this time? Hurry up! Get out of our territory! When I see you... My parents were killed before my eyes! All I can remember is that I couldn't fight! I was terrified and it was pathetic! Or, what is it? You came here to enjoy the sight of me suffering like this? You're despicable! How could I expect anything else from the bloodthirsty demon beast you are?
Huh? Bloodthirsty? I muttered aloud without thinking. Tiny little rabbit boss! The younger girl's long ears flickered as if she heard me. And as if he already knew I was here, Ignis, unsurprised, slowly looks toward me. The girl then leaves Ignis and starts walking toward me.
You're the one! The human that the chief was talking about!
Yeah?
You're weaker than me! Totally defenseless! Ignis is so close to you, too! You really don't know anything, don't...
Oh, you really don't know anything, don't you? Do you?
Well, good timing, because I'll tell you! I'll tell you what Beastia really is and who he really is!
Who he is?
My parents were murdered! My most ferocious and vicious of demon beasts and Beastia, the minotaurs, and Ignis there. Laughing at the top of his lungs, he tore apart my parents. He killed them.
Oh my god, am I wearing their fucking fur? Is that what this is? It's bunny fur? What? Wait, but...
You don't believe it? Well, I figured someone who wasn't from Beastia might think that way. But what really happens in this world? A constant battle of strength among the most powerful. They make sport out of oppressing and slaughtering the weak who have nothing. This world is one filled with malice, where killing is just the way of things.
Murder, slaughter, killing for sport. These frightening words would never even come to mind in my normal life. Wow, I cannot read right now. The young girl pointed a smile toward me as she watched me swallowing my breath.
You understand what I'm saying, don't you? Ignis is just the same as any of them. Not only that, but he's the strongest demon beast in all of Beastia.
The girl glares at me as if to ask if I knew what that meant. The hate in her heart drove her to answer.
It means he's a murderer, and the one who's killed the most demon beasts in this entire world. No matter how defenseless he may pretend to be, he's the same as a minotaur. Searching for a sea demon's parents is just a lie to get you into our territory. I'm sure he intends to kill us all in some horrible way.
No, he wouldn't. The reason why he came to find Kororo's parents, that wasn't a lie. However, the part about him having something to do with her parents' deaths... Ignis... Killing is the way of this world. I won't deny that. My voice, full of pity, couldn't even form a question. But he answered me. Ignis's reply seemed to hide his feelings. You could call it the law of the land. It runs through all of Beastia. Beast World Beastia, Ignis's homeland. While Ignis hid this before, it's a cruel world where slaughter is righteous, with demon beasts killing each other on a daily basis to prove their strength, while the weak are tormented as unnecessary. Killing a demon beast is like breathing air to humans. It's the most natural act we know, and it's etched into our instincts. I see. I had a feeling that I knew the reason why Ignis was hesitant to bring me to this world. Not knowing what to say to him, my gaze wandered, lost as to where to look. There was a savage roar that made the air around us tremble. That voice! The demon beast girl was terrified of what made that noise. She shook and held herself. Well, that's why you die, because you shook and fell down. Go run and hide. Jesus, rabid people are idiots. Ignis? I reflexively ran after him as he quickly responded. Reaching the center of the territory, what we found wasn't the demon beast we were questioning earlier, but... oh no. Instead, a minotaur like the one that had been chasing Dromi. But there was something different about it. Yeah, it's got, like, man body. It was like a giant bull, muscular all over, that walked on two legs. It looked exactly like what I saw in Grandpa's book. Like an actual one. A minotaur from Greek mythology? Minotaur, a monster with the head of a bull and the body of a man appearing in Greek mythology that guards a labyrinth. The greater form of the lesser minotaurs. They're a pretty crass bunch, so I recommend covering your ears. Arumum? Arumum. A race of demon beasts inhabiting Beastia. They are vast in number and are known as the most cruel of demon beasts.
Drah! Well said, Ignis. I didn't think it was true, but here I find you hanging around these puny demon beasts. Guess rumors aren't anything to make light of, huh? Wow, you're such a softie as always.
Okay, because literally that other soft, fluffy bunny just said, he's evilly slaughtered my parents, and then you're saying he's a softie. I'm confused. It seems to be conflicting thoughts. Anyway. Kororo! As I look up, I see the Minotaur grabbing Kororo by the tail. Why is Kororo here? I gave him to Dromi to take care of!
Dromi, that idiot. Can't even protect a baby, I guess. Kind of think of it, I did notice we were seeing a bunch of bulls today.
Wow, they couldn't even spell come right.
You guys, you knew where I was, didn't you? That's why you attacked Dromi, too. Guess you're actually clever, but you're still a bunch of brainless sacks of beef. Where'd that info come from? Spill it! Now that would be brainless of me to just tell you. Now if you care about this thing's life, don't move a muscle. I'm warning you, I'll get rid of those flames.
Already thirsty for blood, the Minotaur kept Ignis in check by using Kororo as a shield. You're using a tiny innocent baby fucking unicorn seal as a fucking shield? Wow, what a pansy. Silenced, Ignis obeys and returns to his usual form that he uses in the human world. Feeling good about the turn of events, he shows his superiority, looking down at Ignis. And notices me standing next to him.
Huh. Never seen a demon beast like that before. Is this thing with you, Ignis? Good timing then. You come over here too. After I beat down Ignis, I'll torment you to death right in front of his stupid beady eyes.
He threatens us, dangling Kororo in the air. This doesn't seem fun. At the same time, tons of minotaurs come out of hiding and surround us all at once. We're gonna have to end this part before we have our battle with the minotaurs, I'm just saying. My rough estimation would be that there were at least 20 of them. Their glares of ill intent and twisted smiles sent a strong chill down my spine. It's what she was talking about. The demons. No, Beastia's true nature. It's pointless trying to fight the terror of such an overwhelming presence. But even still...
Spacey, you don't need to go.
Ignis?
I told you, if you really had to come here, that I'd protect you. And you! Don't think you can just shut me down by using some hostages. That sort of thing doesn't matter to me at all. What?
With a fearless smile, Ignis charges in close to the Minotaur.
You know, really just dumb chunks of meat. You think I need flames to kick your ass?
Gripping his hand into a tight fist. Grah! And piercing through the defense of its dense muscles, he digs in with an intense punch. Along with hearing a gruesome crack, the Minotaur spills fluid from its gut. Ugh, gross! From the impact, Kororo was let go. He was flying. Its body, flying in the air, was easily caught, single-handedly, by Ignis. Kororo was like, that was kind of fun.
Spacey, you look after him. Don't be like Dromi. Like, really watch him.
Right. Kororo was thrown to me firmly, and I pulled him into my arms. It was crude and violent, but the way he fought, the way Kororo didn't get a scratch on him, it helped me find my belief.
You little... What's up? Out of tricks already? Not yet. We still have... The numbers? Are you planning on taking all of the demon beasts here hostage or something? This is so stupid. You're all still a bunch of nobodies because of stupid tricks like this.
Oh, that's a new kind of sprite for him.
Well, it's fine. Give it a shot. If you can keep up with me, that is.
Ignis takes in a deep breath and then looks up into the ash-colored sky. I can't ow, but he's owing! It was like a song, strong and intense, a noble howl, like some signal for a fight, a crimson flame. Oh, CG runs over his body and he begins to easily overpower the Minotaurs with wolf-like moves. In the next moment, one Minotaur began to yell, engulfed in flames. It's cool. Immediately after, Ignis jumps to the two Minotaurs behind him. And into their faces and stomachs, he sends punch after kick into them, rendering them unconscious within seconds. Like, damn. It's like, if you just saw the CG, you'd be like, what fucking game are we playing here? Like, as if trying to show it wouldn't be outdone, the wild flames rampaged up to a fierce speed, hitting one Minotaur after the next in this group that tried to run toward the territory's demon beasts.
Hey, come on, what's the matter? Don't tell me those big hulking arms are just for show.
The ones provoked by Ignis snorted and sent their thick arms flying toward him. We're gonna have to go long from this part because there's no good place to stop. However, Ignis stopped them dead on with his fists. Their fists and claws were obliterated, and they couldn't do a thing about it. And after that, it was a whirlwind, or more appropriately, a whirlwind of fire. It was a fire wind! Burning, chasing, hitting, and burning again. wild movements expressing Ignis's strength and nature that couldn't be shown in one single movement. On a rampage engulfed in flames, and without a scratch on him, he was like a werewolf of fire. The strongest demon beast of Beastia. Melting away the merciless, cold land around him, he stood at the top of the world with overwhelming power. I don't even think a minute had passed. I realized that almost all the minotaurs that had attacked were passed out on the ground. The only one left now was the large minotaur that had taken Cordodo as a hostage. Still, even after all that fighting, hardly any of the territory had been destroyed. And at some point, the local demon beasts had gathered around, shivering with fright, watching the battle. Among them was that little girl that was shouting at Ignis. She's like, both of them could die.
No! All of them are the strongest in the pack! What kind of monster are you?
Monster? Psh, you're just weak. The giant minotaur had run out of the composure that he arrived with. All that was left was absolute shock and terror of Ignis. Readying himself again, Ignis glares with eyes of fire at the last minotaur.
I'm kinda supposed to be tough. Normally I'd let y'all off by just breaking your faces into pieces. But this time's an exception. I'm honestly pissed off at the stupidity you tried to pull. You got a special treat today. I hope you're ready to turn into a pile of medium rare steaks, you stupid animal.
Kind of disturbing he loves meat so much, and then it's like, do you like slaughter the minotaurs and then eat them? Because that's just weird. A swarming pillar of fire rose from under the feet of the minotaur. There was care in preserving the territory, and the pillar didn't expand outward. It climbed straight toward the heavens. After a blast, the minotaur howled in pain. When this was all over, a deafening silence rested over the area. Okay, this is the perfect place to stop, so we're gonna, wow. So we're gonna see everybody running toward us and all that in the next part, so exciting. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.